economic compass has pointed in only one direction, towards endless growth and profit accumulation. This single-minded pursuit has delivered prosperity for some, but it has come at a staggering cost to many others and to the living world we all depend upon. We have created jobs that are precarious, low-paying, and often destructive, leaving communities hollowed out and ecosystems on the brink of collapse. It is time to fundamentally rethink our approach. We need to build jobs that last, not just for a few years, but for generations. This means creating work that is regenerative, distributive by design, work that helps us thrive within the means of our planet. Sustainable job creation is not about tweaking the old broken system. It is about building a new one. It means creating livelihoods that are meaningful, secure, and contribute to the health of our communities and our planet. The core of this new vision is the concept of the triple bottom line, a framework that forces us to look beyond mere financial returns. The first pillar of this new economic paradigm is people. In our current system, labor is often treated as a mere input, a cost to be minimized. A regenerative approach, however, sees human well-being as a primary goal of economic activity. This means creating jobs that provide fair wages, safe working conditions, a sense of dignity and purpose. It means fostering workplaces that are inclusive, offering opportunities to those historically marginalized. A focus on people also extends beyond the workplace, considering health, education, and the social fabric of the wider community. It asks, does our work empower individuals? Does it strengthen social bonds? The second essential pillar is the planet. A sustainable job creation model operates within the planet's boundaries, seeking to protect and restore our natural ecosystems. This involves minimizing pollution, reducing carbon emissions, conserving water, protecting biodiversity. The final pillar is profit, but profit redefined. In a triple bottom line framework, profit is a means to an end, the engine to be sustainable, innovate, and scale positive impact. Bringing these three pillars together is where the magic happens. A job is truly sustainable only when it operates in the sweet spot where the needs of people, the health of the planet, and financial viability overlap. This is the space of regenerative enterprise. A business's success is measured not just by its bank balance, but by its contribution to a thriving society and a healthy biosphere. This integrated approach moves us beyond simple corporate social responsibility, which often just papers over the cracks, and toward a fundamentally new way of doing business. Healthy financial returns are necessary for an enterprise to survive and thrive, pay its workers fairly, and invest in cleaner technologies. Profitability ensures longevity, pursued in service of the social and ecological mission. It is about creating financial value by generating social and environmental value. When these align, jobs become resilient by design. The transition to a low-carbon, ecologically sound economy represents one of the greatest job creation opportunities of the 21st century. Green industries produce goods and services that protect and restore the environment. Renewable energy generation, solar power, wind power, retrofitting buildings for energy efficiency, sustainable agriculture, forest management, and water systems management, foundations of a resilient, labor-intensive economy. For the planet, green jobs reduce greenhouse gases, cut pollution, conserve resources, restore ecosystems. For people, they create stable, well-paying, local jobs and anchor value in communities. They require new skills, opening pathways for workforce development. Financially, profit potential is immense. Regulations tighten, demand soars. Efficiency cuts costs. Innovation opens markets. Investing in green infrastructure yields public health gains, lower energy bills, and regional competitiveness, smart economics in a climate-changed world. Steps communities can take. First, run a local resource assessment. Strong sun, consistent wind, need for agricultural restoration. Second, Set up targeted training programs with local colleges, solar installation and sustainable farming techniques. Third, use policy levers, tax incentives, green procurement standards. Finally, foster local supply chains so benefits stay in the community and build a self-sustaining green economy. Our current model is dangerously linear. Take, make, dispose. The circular economy designs out waste, keeps materials in use, regenerates nature. It is a job creation engine. Technicians repairing devices, craftspeople restoring furniture, operators sorting materials, local jobs that resist offshoring, new business models, rentals, product as a service, sharing and swapping, planet benefits, less extraction, less water use, fewer emissions, waste prevented. Start by mapping waste, then support repair hubs and tool libraries. Incentivize design for disassembly and markets for secondary materials. Section 6. A real-world success, the Grayston Bakery story. Its mission is deceptively simple. Bake delicious brownies, famously used in Ben & Jerry's ice creams, and change lives. Grayston's core innovation is open hiring. No background checks, no interviews, no resumes. Put your name on a list. When a job opens, you get the call. It provides immediate employment to those excluded, the formerly incarcerated, the homeless, recovering addicts. Grayston doesn't just offer a job, it offers support services and on-the-job training to help people thrive. As a certified B Corp, the bakery considers workers, customers, community, and the environment, reducing its footprint over time. Financial success funds the mission. Profits pay wages, funds support services, and enable growth. Grayston proves you don't have to choose between doing good and doing well. Its success inspires others. Open hiring spreads, creating sustainable jobs because of its social mission. Section 7. The essential role of policy and partnerships. Governments are market shapers, tilting the field away from extractive industries and toward regenerative ones. Shift taxes away from labor and onto pollution and resource depletion to realign incentives. Update procurement to prioritize social enterprises and recycled materials. Legislate right to repair. Unlock local repair jobs and challenge planned obsolescence. Provide seed funding, guarantees, and grants to help startups reach sustainable scale. Businesses offer expertise, market access, and mentorship, partnering with social enterprises and cities. Education builds talent pipelines, from vocational programs to university curricula. Community orgs, nonprofits, and unions ensure equity, participation, and accountability, binding partners into durable coalitions. Building skills for the regenerative economy. A transition to green industries, social enterprises, and circular principles requires a new set of skills. Jobs are more hands-on, collaborative, and systems-oriented than siloed roles of the past. Embrace agile education, short modular courses and certificate programs. Value technical know-how and social intelligence. We need technicians for solar panels, wind turbines, and heat pumps. Agronomists for regenerative agriculture and foresters for sustainable land management. A resurgence of repair skills, from electronics to appliances to textiles. Designers and material scientists who build durable, modular, repairable products and invent compostable materials. Ensure training is inclusive and accessible. This investment builds a resilient workforce for decades to come. Section 9. Conclusion. A call to action for regenerative work. We stand at a critical juncture. We can persist in a degenerative economy, or choose a different direction. We can build an economy that is regenerative by design, creating work that is durable, dignified, and dedicated to people and planet. The models are here. The evidence is clear. A new world of work is emerging. Begin with a mindset shift. Move beyond the narrow pursuit of profit. Embrace the triple bottom line. Measure success by social equity, ecological health, and shared prosperity. Business leaders, become social innovators. Policymakers, systems gardeners. Citizens, co-creators of local economies. This is for everyone. Ask, how can your enterprise create social and environmental value? How can policy support? How can education equip the next generation? Start where you are. Look at your community. Find one need, one partner. Start a conversation. Plant a seed. The future is something we actively create. Let's, get to work. Today is October 20th, 2025. As we look around our world, we see a tapestry woven with threads of both incredible progress and immense challenge. Some people wake up each morning without access to clean water to drink. Others live in communities where reliable electricity is a distant dream, plunging their homes into darkness when the sun sets. Millions of children lack the basic education that could unlock their potential. These are not just headlines we read about, they are the daily, lived realities for so many. These problems can feel vast, overwhelming, and deeply entrenched, leaving many of us to wonder if real, lasting change is even possible. It is a heavy weight to carry. Yet, within this landscape of need, a powerful and hopeful movement is quietly taking root and growing stronger every day. It is a movement driven by a different kind of leader, one who sees these profound challenges not as insurmountable barriers, but as invitations to innovate and to serve. A social entrepreneur is a person who looks at a social problem and applies the focused determination and creative thinking of a business leader to solve it. They are not content with simply pointing out what is broken. They roll up their sleeves and dedicate themselves to building solutions that are practical, dignified, and designed to last for the long haul. At its core, social entrepreneurship is about refusing to accept the world as it is and daring to imagine the world as it could be. It is the fusion of a compassionate heart with a pragmatic mind. It uses the tools of the marketplace, things like creating products, offering services, and building sustainable financial models. It is a fundamental shift in perspective. Instead of seeing the poor as passive recipients of charity, social entrepreneurs see them as customers, as partners, and as the very agents of their own transformation. This is not about handouts. It is about offering a hand up. This essay is a simple guide, a 10-minute masterclass, to help you understand this powerful idea. We will explore the essential ingredients that make a social enterprise work. We will walk through a clear story to see how these ideas come to life in the real world. We will lay out the practical steps you can take to begin your own journey, even if you start very small. The goal is to demystify this work and to show you that you too have the power to be a force for good. Every great journey begins with a clear destination. And for a social entrepreneur, that destination is the social mission. This is the North Star of the entire enterprise. It is a simple, powerful statement that declares the specific social or environmental problem you are committed to solving. This mission is not a vague wish for a better world. It is a focused and unwavering commitment to a particular outcome. It could be as direct as to ensure every child in this district has access to life-saving vaccines, or to eliminate plastic waste from our local river system, or to provide affordable, clean energy to off-grid rural families. A strong social mission is the engine that drives every decision. The clarity of this mission is absolutely critical. It acts as a filter, helping you decide what to do and, just as importantly, what not to do. When you are faced with a dozen opportunities or 100 distractions, you can always return to your core question. Does this action directly serve our mission? A clear mission also becomes a rallying cry. It is the story you tell to attract partners, to inspire team members, to gain the trust of the community you serve, and to persuade funders that your work matters. This understanding doesn't come from reading reports in a distant office. It comes from listening. It comes from spending time with the people who are most affected by the problem, hearing their stories, and seeing the world through their eyes. The most powerful social missions are not imposed from the outside. They are co-created with the community. For instance, if your mission is to improve farmer incomes, you must first understand the farmer's world. What are their biggest challenges? Is it access to good seeds? Is it a lack of knowledge about modern farming techniques? Is it the inability to get their crops to market without losing most of their profit to middlemen? Your mission must target the true root of the problem. A mission like to connect smallholder farmers directly to buyers, ensuring they receive a fair price for their produce, is specific, actionable, and addresses a core issue. It becomes the unwavering heart of every single thing you do. Having a noble mission is essential, but it is not enough. The world is filled with good intentions. Social entrepreneurship moves from intention to impact through the power of innovation. Innovation, in this context, does not necessarily mean inventing a brand new high-tech gadget from scratch. More often, it means finding a new way to solve an old problem. It is about being creative. It is about being resourceful. It is about being willing to challenge the status quo. It might involve a new product. It might involve a different kind of service. It might involve a clever business model that turns conventional wisdom on its head. It is the how that follows the why of your mission. Consider the problem of poor sanitation in crowded urban slums. A traditional approach might be to build public toilets. These are often expensive. They are often poorly maintained. They can be unsafe. An innovative social enterprise, however, might design a new solution. They could create a franchise model for clean, safe, pay-per-use toilet facilities. Those facilities can be managed by local community members. Innovation can also mean repurposing existing technology in a new context. For example, the widespread availability of simple mobile phones in many developing countries has opened up a universe of possibilities. Marketing image. Person holding a simple mobile phone, displaying a text message with agricultural advice. A social entrepreneur might create an SMS-based service that sends vital health information to expectant mothers in remote villages. Or they might build a simple app that provides farmers with real-time weather forecasts and market prices. The technology itself is not new, but its application to solve a specific social problem is a powerful innovation that can change lives on a massive scale. The key to successful innovation is to stay relentlessly focused on the user. The most brilliant idea is worthless if the people you are trying to help cannot or will not use it. This means your design process must be grounded in empathy. You must design with your users, not just for them. This involves creating prototypes. This involves testing them in the real world. This involves gathering honest feedback. This involves being willing to fail and adapt. Is the product affordable? Is it easy to use? Does it fit into the daily lives and cultural context of the community? True innovation is a conversation, a dance between a creative idea and the practical reality of people's lives. Charity is a beautiful and necessary act of compassion. It can provide immediate relief in a crisis, feeding the hungry, sheltering the homeless. However, for solving long-term systemic problems, a model based purely on donations has its limits. Donor funds can be unpredictable. Grant cycles can end. A constant cycle of fundraising can divert precious time and energy away from the core mission. This is where the crucial concept of sustainability comes in. A social enterprise seeks to build a model that can stand on its own 2 feet. It aims to generate its own revenue to cover costs and continue its work indefinitely. Sustainability means designing a financial engine into the very core of your social model. It's challenging and creative. It requires you to think like a business person. The goal is not to maximize profit for shareholders, but to generate enough revenue to sustain and grow social impact. Revenue can come from many sources. Selling a product, low-cost water filters, affordable solar lamps, charging a fee for a service, small tuition for vocational training, modest fee for high-quality maternal health care. Imagine a social enterprise empowering women artisans in a rural area. A purely charitable approach, buy their crafts and give them away. A sustainable approach, create a brand, improve quality, sell in urban markets and sell online. Revenue pays artisans a fair and stable wage, buys raw materials, covers marketing and operations. Any surplus is reinvested into the mission. Train more artisans, expand into a new village. Financial sustainability instills discipline, efficiency, and effectiveness. Knowing you must earn your way makes you mindful of costs and pushes you to offer real value customers will pay for. That creates a powerful feedback loop. If people aren't buying your solar lamp, it might be too expensive or not durable enough. The market tells you what to fix. This accountability keeps the enterprise relevant and responsive, creating a resilient organization that can weather storms and endure for the long term. Section 5. The ripple effect. The power of scalability. Solving a problem for 10 people is a wonderful achievement. Solving it for 1,000 people is a triumph. Solving it for 1,000,000 people can change the world. This is the promise of scalability. Scalability is the potential for a social enterprises model to be replicated and expanded to serve a much larger number of people, either within a region or across the globe, without a proportional increase in costs. It is about designing a solution from the very beginning that is not just a one-off project, but a blueprint for widespread change. A scalable idea is like a seed that contains the DNA to grow into a forest. To achieve scale, the solution must be as simple and efficient as possible. Complex, customized solutions that require highly specialized experts are often very difficult to grow. A scalable model, on the other hand, is often built on standardized processes and systems that can be easily taught and replicated by others. Think of a business-in-a-box concept. A successful model for a community health clinic, for instance, could be documented in a comprehensive toolkit that includes everything from the physical layout and equipment list to the staff training manuals and financial management software. This toolkit can then be used to launch similar clinics in new locations with greater speed and a higher chance of success. Technology is often a powerful catalyst for scalability. An educational program that relies on one charismatic teacher can only reach as many students as can fit in a classroom. But if that teacher's lessons are recorded and delivered through a simple mobile application, they can suddenly reach tens of thousands of students at a very low marginal cost. One teacher's impact is amplified exponentially. This is how an idea breaks free from its geographical constraints and spreads. The key is to use technology that is appropriate and accessible to the target community. Simple SMS messages can often be more scalable than a complex smartphone app in areas with limited internet connectivity. However, scalability is not just about growth for growth's sake. It must be pursued with care and intention. Rapid, unchecked expansion can lead to a dilution of quality and a loss of connection to the core social mission. As an enterprise grows, it is crucial to have strong systems in place to monitor impact and maintain quality standards. Are the new clinics providing the same level of care as the original one? Are the students using the app actually learning? Scaling with integrity means building the infrastructure, the training programs, the quality control checks, the feedback mechanisms that ensures the soul of the enterprise is not lost as its body grows larger. Section 6. A story of change, from trash to treasure. Let us move from theory to a simple, concrete story to see how these four elements, mission, innovation, sustainability. Imagine a small coastal town where the local economy depends on fishing. Over the years, Plastic waste has become a huge problem. Plastic bags, bottles, packaging. It clogs the streets and finds its way into the river and the ocean. The water has become polluted. The beaches are littered with trash. The fish, the very lifeblood of the community, are becoming scarce. The problem is visible. It is harming livelihoods and damaging the environment. A young woman who grew up in the town decides she cannot stand by. She decides to act. Her social mission becomes crystal clear: to clean the river and ocean of plastic waste, while creating economic opportunities for her community. It is a dual mission, linking environmental health with economic well-being. She does not want a one-time cleanup. She wants to build a system that stops the problem at its source and turns the waste into something of value. This mission becomes her guiding purpose, the reason she gets up every morning. Her innovation is not a new technology. It's about connecting old ideas in a new way. She learns a simple, low-tech process that can shred plastic waste by mixing it with sand. She works with a few unemployed young people, training them to collect, sort, and clean the plastic waste from the riverbanks. She secures a small loan to buy a basic shredding machine and a mold. They begin producing their first batch of plastic sand roof tiles. These tiles are cheaper and more durable than the traditional clay tiles. This is where sustainability comes into play. Local builders and homeowners, seeing they're affordable and high quality, begin to buy them. The project starts to earn revenue from tile sales. This income is not pocketed as profit. It is used to pay a fair wage to the plastic collectors and production workers. It covers operational costs and equipment maintenance. Soon, the enterprise covers all its own expenses without relying on donations. The work can continue and grow because it has a self-sustaining financial engine. The river gets cleaner, and people are earning a dignified living. Finally, she thinks about scalability. She carefully documents every step: how to organize the collection network, how to operate the machinery safely, how to ensure the quality of the tiles, and how to manage the finances. Section 7. Your first steps on the path of purpose. Reading these stories and ideas can be inspiring, but it can also feel intimidating. You might be thinking, I'm not a business expert. I don't have a big idea. Most social enterprises start small, born from a simple observation and a quiet determination to help. You do not need a fancy degree or a large bank account to begin. You just need to be willing to take the first step. Here is a simple, practical roadmap you can follow. First, find a problem you genuinely care about in your community. Watch children's literacy. Spend time at the local library or at a school. Worried about food waste? Talk to restaurant owners. Talk to grocers. Understand the problem as a human experience, not a statistic. Second, define a clear, simple mission in one sentence. Avoid jargon. Avoid grand pronouncements. Make it concrete. Example: I want to ensure elderly people in my building have access to fresh groceries. Help children in my neighborhood with their math homework. Create a safe place for teenagers to gather after school. Write your mission down and put it somewhere visible. It will be your anchor. Third, run a tiny, low-cost experiment. Build the smallest possible version of your idea. Section 8. Navigating the inevitable challenges. Embarking on the path of social entrepreneurship is a deeply rewarding journey, but it is also one that is filled with obstacles. It is important to be realistic and to anticipate some of the hard parts you will likely encounter along the way. Expecting these challenges does not mean you will fail. It means you will be better prepared to navigate them with patience and resilience. One of the most common and immediate hurdles is, of course, money. Starting any new venture requires some resources, and at the beginning, funding can be very scarce. You may need to be incredibly resourceful, using your own savings, small grants, loans from local community foundations, microfinance institutions. Section 9. The quiet power of one-kind idea. In the end, after all the talk of business models, scalability, sustainability, social entrepreneurship comes down to something very simple and very human. It is about seeing a fellow human being in a state of struggle and believing you can be part of the solution. Channel your empathy into action. Choose hope over despair. Choose courage over cynicism. The world is full of complex, large-scale problems that can make us feel small and powerless. But stories of social entrepreneurs from every corner of the globe teach us you do not need to be a famous leader or a wealthy philanthropist to make a difference.